extended without an act of Congress, but with Congress heading toward their summer break, that possibility appears to be slim. Here's ABC's Steve Osunsami.
Millions of Americans who, because of the pandemic, are having trouble paying the rent are watching the clock run out tonight on rules that keep them from getting evicted from their homes. If no one in Washington does anything about it in time, the federal hold on evictions will expire on Saturday. Giovanni Bush is a lawyer in Florida who says he's working with hundreds of renters who could get thrown out into the street.
A lot of people that are facing eviction are very much in the process of not knowing what to do and trying to figure out where their kids will go to school in the next couple of months if they're going to be evicted.
The Trump administration put the eviction moratorium in place last summer, and public health officials at the CDC in Atlanta have extended it 3 times, saying last month that this was their final extension of the moratorium. Adding insult to injury, money that Congress has set aside to help renters in trouble isn't getting to these Americans. Of the $47 billion, only about $3 billion has made its way to renters through their states and cities. In New York State, for example, they've handed out almost none of this money. Democratic lawmakers in Congress are trying to rush together a plan that would extend the hold on evictions until the end of the year, but they're running out of time. The House goes on recess tomorrow, and anything they come up with would have to pass through the Senate by Saturday.
So you got this sister that talks about women that said he wanted.
Listen, first of all, let me applaud the eviction process. Get these independent individuals up out of that goddamn dwelling. Let's send them out in the streets with them and their kids. Let us send them out in the streets with them and their kids. All right, what's up, y'all? I'm out and about, and I'm talking to people, and I was talking to this one guy today, and this one guy that I was talking to today, we were talking about women's issues. We was talking about the woman that went out and ate the oysters or whatever, and the man got up and left. So we was talking about that. And he was saying that, you know, women expect women. He started going there with it. And I said, well, listen, bro, I hear all that you talking. I said, but let me tell you what I know it to be. The way I know it to be is that every man will allow himself to get played based on who he is. That's a man problem. That's got nothing to do with, to me, that's got nothing to do with, I mean, you could, if I sell this car, I can ask $1 million for it. The idiot is going to be want to buy it. So I said, women can make all these claims to who and what they are. It's the man that has to buy it. The man is the buyer. So I was telling him, so one thing I noticed that when it comes to the stats of good, women are low. When it comes to the stats of bad, women are high. Damn. So let's talk about evictions. Here's what you're not going to hear. You're not going to hear a woman say, I went 8 months. You're not going to hear a woman say, I went 8 months, didn't pay rent, and I'm sitting on a stack. You're not going to hear that. Let me say that again. You're not going to hear a woman say, I went 8 months, didn't pay the rent, and I'm sitting on a stack. You're not going to hear that. What you're going to hear is an abundance of people that knew and took advantage of this COVID situation, and they simply, now that the eviction process is about to come to an end, they are just being introduced to the person that they really are. Let me say that again. Now that the eviction process is about to be over, They are simply being introduced to the person that they really are. Let me tell you something and some true facts. We are all in the situation today that we put ourselves in. Everything that you did in life equals up to where you are at today on the 18th of October, 2023. You are where you at based on what you did yesterday. And these individuals have ran around here and let the world suit their head up. They can go in the house, talking about females now. They can go in the house. They could go on social media. They can do a live. They could talk about their mama. They could talk about their mama like their mother's a dog. They could talk about how they got all their stuff together. They can leave their house, come in the street, and act like and look like $1 million and claim that when you deal with them, you have to deal with them from the narrative of they are $1 million. And then they'll turn around and be standing in an eviction line saying, we not getting funded. We demand right. We have a right for you to pay my rent. It is my right for you to pay my rent. Give me a second. Pay my rent. I got kids. Where me and my kids gonna go? Okay, all right. Okay, I'm back. I just had a little. They ain't helping us. Yo. Oh my God. I got kids in here that's sick. Oh my God. Oh my God. Ah, shit. Oh man, I cracked myself up. Wow. Let me tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all something. I want to say something to all the individuals out there that say you shouldn't laugh because it can happen to you. No, it ain't ever gonna happen to me. All right, I'm gonna be clear about something. It ain't ever gonna happen to me because there's a certain point in your life where you should get there's a point in your life where you should get one stage of your life solidified before you move to the next stage. For example, you should have created a situation with your house first before you had the kids. That's how they go. You should solidify a career. You should have solidified being able to take care of yourself. You should have solidified a mate. You should have solidified a place to live. And all this thing, you should have solidified those 4 things at least before you cocked your legs open and took some dudes Section 8 sauce, and now you claiming you about to get evicted. So it's ha funny. You know why? Because I solidified a certain level in my life to where as though I'm never going to go below that. All right. 2000 and laughing. Carlton said, man, that's slavery, man. I know. Pill said, I don't have a problem with them not paying for rent for years if they saved the money and moved out. That's a smooth criminal move. Boom. I said that. I said, at least if you saying you went 7, 8 months, year and a half, 2 years, if you went that long, appreciate those thumbs up, y'all. If you went that long, you should be sitting on a stack. But these individuals are broke. And what did you do with the money? So I definitely agree with you on that. Carlton also said they should have just paid when they were getting free money because now landlords doubled up the rent. There you go. That situation there more than anything. Let me tell you something. In the 17 years that I've owned rental property, I never went up on one of my tenants' rent. I never did that. I never went up on my tenants' rent. Ever. Never did that. I have a friend now that still has a rental property, and the husband died. It was a husband and wife couple living in his house, and the husband died right during COVID. They say he died of COVID. And my man said, I'm not going up on the rent. They paying the rent. The wife is still maintaining. The rent is being paid. He said, I'm not going up on the rent. And I said, hell no. Nah. He said, everybody keep telling me to go up on the rent. He said, I'm not going up on the rent. I said, nah, bro, don't go up on the rent. And he said, let me tell you the unique situation about my tenants. He said, they used to own this house. I brought it from them. So they have a certain interest in this house, like I do. He said, I'm not going to break that by going up on a rent. I said, nope, and as you shouldn't. So you absolutely right. Let me read your comment again. They should have just paid when they were getting free money, because now landlords are doubling up on the rent to make up for it. Boom. That's exactly right. That's what's going on. And I don't blame them. I don't blame them, and they should. I don't blame them, and they should. Let me tell you something, people. Here's what I've realized every day. Ain't that what they say, every day? It's up to you to establish a lifestyle that will substantiate you. It ain't up to me to establish a lifestyle that will substantiate nobody else. I'll give you an example. In June, when I had that woman come stay with me, and it only lasted 6 days, 7 actually. The morning that I got up and said, hey, listen, it's 9 o'clock, start getting your stuff together. We're going to leave out of here at 10 o'clock. You know the first thing she said to me? Where am I going to go, Chris? I said, that's not my problem. It's not my problem. And it wasn't my problem. It wasn't my problem because this individual thought that the issues that she had in her life, somehow I was responsible for it. I wasn't. I didn't give 2 cents about her. All I know is that I opened my house up to her and she disrespected me. And I said, okay, for that, you got to get out. And when she said, where I'm going to go, I said, I have no idea. That's not my problem. I said, but I'm going to tell you something at the end of the day. Wherever you lay your head at the night, here's the one thing you're going to understand. When a man says something, he mean it. I said, you live with your sister way too long. You don't live with your sister for about 12 years or whatever. And all you think people want to argue with you. I said, you got an argumentative type curriculum that you think that's going to work on everything. I said what I said last night. It is now in the morning at 10 o'clock. We leaving. You getting out of my house. I'm going to tell you something. Not having a place to live has to be right up there with the scariest situation of your life. Not having a place to live. Not having a place to live. Women of color are #1 on Section 8. Women of color are the #1 individuals that are running to the news, running to all these XYZ News at 6, running to all these news programs and think that for some reason they are owed, for some reason they think that they are owed for some reason they think that they are owed a narrative on why somebody should take care of them. People, these are facts. If you take a lion out of the wild and take care of him for 5 years, you know you can't introduce him back to the wild, right? Why does that analogy not fall for humans? Now, Am I saying that it can't be done? No. What I'm simply saying is you're putting yourself in a position to where as though you got to get over a mental hurdle just to start acknowledging the fact it's up to you how you eat at night. It ain't nobody's responsibility. And that's what these individuals don't understand. So when I go and navigate myself around social media, and I hear all these women making all these claims as to what a man's supposed to do, how they will not let a man take them to the Cheesecake Factory, all these narratives, people, the second y'all wake up and realize that is nothing but a facade, the second y'all wake up and realize that is nothing but a bunch of bull crap, a bunch of a delusional, narcissistic narrative that these individuals are telling themselves. The second y'all realize that, when y'all realize that, then they'll realize that by getting an eviction notice taped to their door telling them they got to get out, they'll start realizing, hold on, nobody cares. Like I said, get out. You and your kids. I don't care if they're sick. I don't care if one is on a CPAP machine. Get out. Yo, I'm just watching that shit. I'm just watching me do that shit. It's crazy, man. There's something wrong with me, man. Y'all already know that, though. But nobody cares. Nobody cares. You know, the government has failed these individuals. They have sat back and didn't realize that. Here's what they didn't realize. And this is a separate video. These individuals don't realize that they were a pawn. They were a pawn in the government game of giving. Let me say that again. They were a pawn in the government game of giving. You want to know why? Well, okay. Here's what these individuals, let me play this again so y'all can hear it for yourself. I want y'all to be self-hearers. Check this out.
Pandemic-era eviction moratorium ends on Saturday. The Supreme Court has signaled it can't be extended without an act of Congress, but with Congress heading toward their summer break, that possibility appears to be slim. Here's ABC's Steve Osunsami.
Millions of Americans who, because of the pandemic, are having trouble paying the rent are watching the clock run out tonight on rules that keep them from getting evicted from their homes. If no one...
You heard what he said? He said millions of Americans because of the pandemic. So he's actually building in their excuse for them. He's building in their excuse for them. Appreciate those thumbs up. He's building in their excuse for them. Millions of Americans because of the pandemic. Because of the pandemic? No, the pandemic is what saved you. It saved you. Listen.
In Washington does anything about it in time, the federal hold on evictions will expire on Saturday. Giovanni Bush is a lawyer in Florida who says he's working with hundreds of renters who could get thrown out into the street.
A lot of people that are facing eviction are very much in the process of not knowing what to do and trying to figure out where their kids will go to school in the next couple of months if they're going to be evicted.
The Trump administration put the eviction moratorium in place last summer, and public health officials at the CDC in Atlanta have extended it 3 times, saying last month that this was their final extension of the moratorium. Adding insult to injury, money that Congress has set aside to help renters in trouble isn't getting to these Americans. Of the $47 billion...
Listen, play that back.
Saying last month that this was their final extension of the moratorium. Adding insult to injury, money that Congress has set aside to help renters in trouble isn't getting to these Americans. Of the $47 billion, only about $3 billion has made its way to renters through their states and cities. And
what did I just say? I just said maybe these women will wake up and start realizing that Section 8 and all these Give Me programs made them pawns for the system. So like he just said, out of the 47 billion, only 3 made it. Where did the other 44 billion go? It went in politicians' pockets. You see, as money changes hands, it disappears. The value of it comes down. So these women who said, oh, they got a program, Section 8. Well, if they're paying you a certain amount of money, they're getting money to give to you. Let me say that again. They're actually getting money. This is what these women don't understand. They don't understand economics. They just think that the money just pops up like $100. Boop, oh, it just popped up. Oh my God. No, that money comes from somewhere, right? So they think they can just say a program. Well, the state applies for these programs, and then they give them money. And every state runs and be like, oh, we got 1.7 million Shaquitas that need Section 8. We got 1.7 Shaquitas. And then the government, the federal government gives them the amount of money needed to house 1.7 million Shaquitas. But guess what the municipalities do? They take that sum off the top and money disappear. Poof. And guess what? Y'all gonna love this. Y'all gonna love this. Play this for any woman. You know we are about to have an election, right? So when they give 43 billion and once that administrative changes, poof, that money, that was the last administration. We don't got nothing to do with that. And it just disappears. And the 43 billion that was borrowed get tacked onto the deficit. You see how that works? But these women don't understand that because they don't give 2 cents about economics. Their whole narrative, their whole lineup, their whole story is, oh, there's a program. Girl, what's the requirement? Girl, all you got to do is bring us. Start laughing at this before I even said it, man. Wow. Well, girl, what's the requirement for the program? Girl, all you gotta do is bring a full skeet to term. Girl, for real? Yeah, girl, when he skeet, girl, you better coddle that skeet. Girl, you better cherish that skeet. Oh, girl, for real? Man. Oh, girl, for real? Girl, yeah, in the second that skeet is born, then you... Oh, snap. Hey, listen. There's one thing... There's one thing we can count on in the black community is skeet acceptance is about to plummet. That's right. That mom gonna be back there talking about something. Oh, I'm about to bust. Oh, hey, where you going? No, hell no. Girl, you used to let me bust all off in your nut, and my nut all in your... No, you can't do that no more. Boy, I'm telling you. Hey, listen, the skeet acceptance is about to plummet. I promise you. Skeet acceptance is about to plummet. It is. Individuals are gonna be like, hey, listen, nurses in the baby wards in the black community, they're gonna be like, hello, Nurse Williams. Yeah, don't come in today. Why not? Girl, ain't no babies being born no more. Girl, they need to implement the welfare program. Listen. Let's be clear about something. I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna end this. A lot of individuals made money off of Shaquita and Skeet. A lot of people made money off of Shaquita and Skeet. Doctors made money. Hospitals made money. Municipalities got grants. Caseworkers got employment. Social services got jobs. Police officers got jobs. Hell, got promotions. Some of them got promoted to detective. Busting these very kids. Yeah, your kid. Yeah, that 13-year-old with the gun. Yeah, he cracked that crime and got promoted to detective. Prison systems are making money. Boy, everybody just got their hand in the back. And boy, that's my next video. The United States of America is dependent on Shaquita uterus. Boy, listen, they want Shaquita's uterus to have an occupancy sign right on the inside of her thigh. They want her to have an occupancy. It's occupied. They don't want Shaquita to have an empty uterus. They don't. Let's give you a second. They listen. I'm laughing at something else. They do not want. Listen, man. Hey, I'm clowning, man. What do you expect? Individual getting evicted. I'm clowning. Shit. I'm clowning. You know, should have had your stuff together. You know, it's what it is. It's the way it is. I can't stop it. You know, it is what it is. So tell you what, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Now go on, get on in here. Go on.